A group of hardened killers wake up to find themselves falling out of the sky, only to land on a strange, mysterious world. A terrifying place where our unsuspecting team of humans are being hunted by alien predators. In order to survive this deadly game of cat and mouse, the group, led by veteran turned mercenary Royce, played by Adrian Brody, must try to figure out why they have all been placed in this strange and brutal alien world. And more to the point, how to get back to Earth. In this third installment in the Predator series, which came out in 2010 and rejuvenated interest in the Predator beast once again. That rhymed. So let's explore 10 things that you didn't know about this hunting expedition. Really like Predators, and I think in recent years it's kind of been forgotten about and never really brought into discussion. So it's time to remember this fun entry in the franchise that deserves more love as we check it out. Hunting season has begun! Number 10, Predators went into production all the way back in 1994. It's 1994, and filmmaker Robert Rodriguez is making his golden opus, Desperado. It's while directing Desperado that Rodriguez was contacted by 20th Century Fox to write a third Predator movie. At that stage, the previous movie, Predator 2, was only 4 years old. So Rodriguez writes his script for a Predator 3, and then hands it to 20th Century Fox. And they are immediately put off by just how much it would cost to bring this script to life into a movie. So Fox is turned off by Rodriguez's script and turn it down and put it away, where over the years it would go on to collect dust, but wasn't taken out of existence entirely. Number 9. The original script was kind of insane. So Rodriguez's original script had the simple, bare-bones premise of what we would see in the final film. A heap of mercenaries and killers being hunted by predators. But unlike the final film, which shows the characters to be in a game reserve, according to IMDb, it was originally meant to be a big alien arena, much like the Colosseum, where the predator creatures would watch these death matches while drinking their own predator beer. I don't know, to me that just sounds a little too much like they've humanized them. One member of the human team who was placed in this alien arena to fight to the death was the character Dutch himself, who featured in the first movie. There are also some claims that Danny Glover's Mike Harrigan character from the second movie was also to be involved in the action. The predators in this script also got around on motorbikes, and all up there was about 200 predator creatures that our heroes had to face. 200. No wonder Fox got so freaked out by the script and thought it'd be too expensive. Needless to say, in the final film there wasn't 200 predator aliens but rather 4, as well as other changes being made to the script, obviously. Number 8. After the failed Alien vs Predator series, 20th Century Fox came a-crawling back. So rather than go on to make a third Predator movie, Fox instead decided to focus on the Alien vs Predator brand, which had become a popular comic book series, which also spawned video games and toys. It was felt that fans seeing both the Alien and Predator coming together to fight it out on the big screen would be a sure hit, just like printing cash. The first Alien vs Predator movie was released in 2004, and although it was a financial hit, it got poor reviews by fans and critics, mainly for its PG-13 rating. So in 2007, Aliens vs Predator Requiem came out. This time with an R rating, sure, however it wasn't as financially successful as its predecessor, and the reaction from fans and critics this time were even worse. So it became clear that the theatrical Alien vs Predator experiment didn't work. So not knowing where to take the franchise next, Fox found the solution when they found Rodriguez's 1994 Predators script. And this time, they were keen on adapting the script into a movie. Number 7. Predators in the grand scheme of things. Predators went into production in 2009, 15 years after the script was written. Although Rodriguez was originally going to direct, he became the movie's co-producer, and Hungarian director Nimrod Antal was hired as director. He had previously directed the horror movie Vacancy and the action thriller Armored. Instead of calling the movie Predator 3, it was decided to call it Predators for 2 reasons. One, as a callback to the Alien sequel, Aliens, suggesting this time there was more than one monstrous enemy, but also in regards to the main characters themselves, all of whom are killers, and can themselves be seen as predators. It was Rodriguez's idea for Predators to be a direct sequel to the first movie and have nothing to do with Predator 2 or the Alien vs Predator movies. Like as if those movies never happened. So in this movie's timeline, it's just Predator and Predators. But come on, how can you do Predator 2 dirty like that? Maybe it wasn't quite at its cult status at that point. In fact, to try and tie Predators even closer to the original Predator, there was an idea to have Arnold Schwarzenegger turn up for a cameo as his Dutch character. But that never happened. Probably because at that time he was too busy being the Governor of California. Ah! Number 6. Assembling the cast. The filmmakers behind Predators wanted the movie to be made up of an ensemble cast of rich characters who the viewers can go on this strange and terrifying journey with. The movie's main lead of Royce was played by Adrian Brody, which is interesting because I never would have seen him as a tough action star, but rather the pianist. But you know, it was intended to cast an actor to have a different body type physique than Arnold Schwarzenegger. They didn't want a more muscle-bound character this time, but a slimmer, slender one. Brody was cast just 2 weeks before the shoot started and didn't really have time to bulk up, so his shirtless scenes were put off in order to give Brody enough time to at least get a little bit ripped and like he can take on the Predator. Lawrence Fishburne was cast as Noland, and he was filming CSI at that time and was only available to film for 2 days, so it was literally a 2-day shoot for him. The rest of the cast includes Topher Grace, Alice Braga, Walton Goggins, Danny Trejo, Mahershala Ali, and Louis Ozua Chang Chen. So needless to say, this was a unique roundup of characters, played by a very exceptional cast. Number 5. Filmed in Hawaii and Texas. The location shoot for Predators took place at Kole Kole, Hawaii, with the Hawaiian shoot lasting 22 days. Mahershala Ali said that he loved the Hawaiian shoot, as while filming in the tropical Hawaiian rainforest, the cast would have to stomp through mud and would spend all day getting rained on. Yeah, that sounds like a blast. The rest of the movie's shoot would then take place in Austin, Texas, at Robert Rodriguez's Troublemaker Studios, a studio formerly known as Los Hooligans Productions, of which many of his movies had been filmed in, including Desperado, From Dusk Till Dawn, The Faculty, Sin City, and the 10,000 Spy Kid movies, and you know, so on and so forth, you get the point. It's said the production took place at Rodriguez's Troublemaker Studios and not the 20th Century Fox Studios, so he could have more creative control over the movie. And all up, the Predators shoot lasted 53 days. Number 4. The original Predator design returns. So the iconic original Predator was brought to life thanks to Stan Winston and his team. For the Alien vs Predator movies, a company called Amalgamated Dynamics handled the creatures. This time it was Peter Jackson's visual effects company, Weta Digital, who handled the effects, and the Predator creatures were designed by effects artist Howard Berger, who previously worked on the original Predator and the Chronicles of Narnia, and would go on to work on the zombies in The Walking Dead, as well as transforming Anthony Hopkins into Alfred Hitchcock in the movie Hitchcock, as well as Greg Nicotero, who previously worked with George A. Romero and Tom Savini, and previously provided the makeup effects for many iconic movies, including Day of the Dead and Evil Dead 2. For Predators, it was intended for the Predator creatures to look as close to the original Predator as possible, with that movie being carefully studied for this film. The movie also featured new alien creatures, one of which known as the River Ghost, which was actually based on the original Predator designs when it was that weird looking suit worn by Jean-Claude Van Damme. Hey, I guess they did end up using that original design after all. You know what they say, better late than never. Number 3, one cast member was nearly replaced. So as mentioned, actor Walton Goggins was cast in Predators as death row inmate Stans. However, his character was originally written slightly different to how he was eventually portrayed in the film. It was in the movie's early days that Robert Rodriguez felt that the Stans character was just too similar to Hudson from Aliens. And so, obviously not wanting to be accused of making a Hudson clone, Rodriguez felt the character would need a course correction, with Stans being rewritten to being less like Hudson, and for the part to be recast. However, director Nimrod Antal and Goggins himself convinced Rodriguez not to recast the part, insisting that Goggins can still play Stans and be less like Bill Paxton, and, well, so he did. Hooray to Goggins' amazing forehead and teeth. Number 2, the music of Predators. According to Wikipedia, there were rumours that original composer Alan Silvestri would return to compose Predators, which makes sense. I mean, he's still in the business of making movie scores, so why not? However, Rodriguez, who had final creative control over the movie, chose to use his frequent collaborator, John Debney, instead, who has actually scored many iconic movies over the 90s and 2000s. They wanted to not copy what was previously done with Silvestri, but create a new sound that would accompany this new movie. Rodriguez felt that what Silvestri did went very well with that original movie, so now they wanted something that would go with this movie. Interestingly, Predators also features the song Long Tall Sally by Little Richard, which also did feature in the original movie, so it's nice having that little connection there. In Predators, it was played during the movie's end credits. In the original Predator, it's played in that scene where that guy's talking about how chewing tobacco turns him into a sexual Tyrannosaurus. A claim which, by the way, I don't think is yet backed up by science. Number 1, Predators Unleashed. Predators was released in July 2010, the first solo Predator movie in 20 years. And the film did okay in the box office. It made $127 million on a $40 million budget, so it did bring in an $87 million profit. But that was still probably a little lower than expected, as in the box office, Predators was beaten by Despicable Me and Twilight Eclipse. Wow, how depressing. Imagine getting beaten by those two. It was, however, very successful in the UK and Ireland. Its reviews were mixed, with the characters and a supposed lack of tension being criticised. A review in Entertainment Weekly described the characters as being less like action heroes and more like, quote, cardboard cliches lining up for the body count, end quote. Look, I can remember watching Predators for the first time and I thought it was just fine. A fun popcorn flick with Predators, which was beautifully shot and delivered on the Predator action and thrills that you would expect from a Predator movie. I guess my only gripe was the characters. I just found them kind of unlikable and not sure why I was meant to be rooting for them. I think I was more rooting for the Predators to finish them off. Sorry. Adrian Brody was the better actor in the movie in my opinion, and he surprised me because he actually could do tough. But as far as screen presence and charisma goes, well, he's no Arnold Schwarzenegger or Danny Glover. In my opinion, of course. I mean, don't forget, this is all subjective on my part. But he does his best and gives a hearty performance. The movie didn't rock my world or anything, but I still found it to be a good time, and a darn lot better than the next entry, The Predator, and whatever the heck that movie was supposed to be. So Predators is a movie that packs a punch and takes no prisoners. If you're a Predator fan, this movie is definitely a good time, and something you should watch and will enjoy. Hunting season has begun indeed. I think part of the problem is you had the original two Predator movies, which then descended into the Alien vs. Predator movies, and now after all that you have Disney Predator, and whatever they're doing to the franchise. And sandwiched in between all of that you have Predators. A movie which probably gets overlooked by all the chaos around it. But it's time to armor up and go back and watch Predators. In fact, discounting everything else, I would argue that the original Predator, Predator 2 and Predators actually makes a pretty solid trilogy. Anyway, I'm Minty, and we've seen Predators go on hunting killing sprees, but what are their joke-telling skills like? Seriously, I know that they're pretty good at killing, but I just need to know, are they any good at comedy or stand-up? See ya!